All right, let's get down to business. All right, now that you know that SEO and keywords are the lifeblood of Pinterest, I want to show you how to get started on your keyword research. Now, unlike Google and Yahoo and all the other more traditional search engines, you don't need any fancy, expensive shit to get your research done. Pinterest is the best tool for Pinterest keyword research. Now, the first thing I want you to do is write down 3 topics you want to become synonymous with. Now, these should be topics that just about everything you do falls under. So, for example, for Nicole Levac, who teaches women how to empower themselves after invisible abuse, her topics might be abuse, anxiety, and healing. For Andy Lyons, who teaches small businesses how to accelerate their startup, her topics might be startups, entrepreneurs, and investors. For me, my topics are branding, and then more specifically, brand personality and brand archetypes. So let's jump over to Pinterest so I can show you what you're going to do with these 3 topics. All right, here we are on Pinterest. Now, it doesn't matter if you're on your smart feed, which you can get to by clicking the Pinterest icon up here on the left side, or if you're on your profile, which you can get to by clicking your profile link right here. It doesn't really matter, so long as you can access the search bar up here at the top, you are golden. So what I want you to do is type in the first topic that you just jotted down. So for me, again, that's going to be branding. So I'm going to type that in the search bar. Now, the first thing I want you to notice is that when you're typing in the search bar, it starts to populate searches for you. Now, these probably aren't the terms that you're searching for at the moment, but I want you to pay attention to these because what's populating are actually the most popular searches based on what you're typing in. So for me, when I type in branding, the most popular branding related searches are branding design, branding yourself, branding color palette, and branding board. So what does that mean? That means this is what people are searching for the most around my topic, okay? The most around your topic. It means that these are the subtopics that you want to create content and pins and boards around. Right? They are telling you what the most popular searches are based on what you're already typing in. Now, I want to let you in on a little SEO secret, right? Because of how saturated all of our markets are, right? That's a universal struggle. Short tail keywords, which is just one word keyword. So for instance, branding, that's a short tail keyword. It's one word. These kind of keywords are virtually impossible to rank for, whether you're on Pinterest or Google, Yahoo, whatever it is. Okay, so for me, again, branding, that keyword on its own would be foolish for me to laser focus on. There's just too much competition, and frankly, it's too broad. So instead, what you want to do is find long tail keywords, and all that means are multi-word keywords. So for instance, branding yourself, branding color palette, multi-words. Those are called long tail keywords. And that's exactly what you want to find. And that's exactly what your Pinterest keyword research is all about. Finding these long tail keywords to target in your content. So you're going to start with this base topic, right? These 3 topics that you wrote down that you want to become synonymous for. You're going to start with that base topic, and then you're going to drill down to find all the specific keywords that people are actually searching for. This is going to tell you exactly what content, pins, and boards you need to create. So just based on the suggestions that Pinterest is giving me right here in the search bar, I know that I need to be creating content around branding design, branding yourself, branding color palette, and branding boards. All right, but this is just the tip of the iceberg. So let's actually do the search. So once I type in my keyword, I'm going to hit enter. Now you'll notice as soon as I hit enter, there are now these colored tiles right here with additional topics. Guess what these are? More popular search keywords under your main topic. All right, and you can see a couple of the same ones from the suggestions, right? It's branding design, branding yourself. You can see a couple that Pinterest gave me in the search bar with their suggestions. And obviously you can see a whole lot more suggestions are offered. Now, these tiles are ordered by frequency of search, meaning the first one over here on the left side is the most popular search. The second one's the next popular, and so on and so forth, okay? So related to popularity and frequency. So branding design, you're basically pairing these keywords together. My original keyword was branding. The long tail keyword would be branding design, okay? You've got each of these tiles to create these long tail keywords. So for branding, again, branding design is the most popular branding related search on Pinterest. That tells me that I should be creating content that centers around the design side of branding. All right, so what you're gonna do here, right? So you're gonna type in your first basic keyword, right? The thing that you want to become synonymous with. For me, that's branding. Then you're going to go through and you're going to jot down every one of these subtopic keywords that applies to what you do and what you sell. And you can see over here, there's an arrow. So for most searches, especially when you're starting really broad with one word, you're going to have a ton of tiles to go through. Now, some of the tiles are not going to be applicable to what you do and sell, and that's fine. Just ignore those. But I want you to write down every one that does apply to what you're all about. So for me, I'm going to add branding design. I would add branding yourself, branding identity, branding board, branding business, branding inspiration, ideas. Most of these will probably apply. I wouldn't necessarily write minimalist or modern at this point, but I'm going to write down all of the ones that apply. Now, once you jot them all down, what you're going to do is come back to these tiles and you're going to start drilling down because these subtopics are still pretty broad, right? Branding design, that's still super broad. I'm betting, actually no, that we can drill down deeper. So what you're going to do is then start clicking on these tiles one by one and write down the next level of subtopics. So let me click over here on design. This is the most popular branding search, branding design. So I'll click on this tile right here and bam, now we've got a new set of tiles. So when it comes to branding design, the most popular search on Pinterest is for branding design inspiration. All right, so on my list of keywords under branding design, I'm going to do this exact same thing. I'm going to write branding design inspiration, branding design identity, branding design logo. I'm going to go through all of them. So your list is going to start having layers. You might have 3, 4, 5 layers. It just depends on your topic. All right, so we can keep doing this. So let's click on inspiration and see if we can drill down even deeper. So now we've got the long tail keyword of branding design inspiration. And within this long tail keyword, we've got all these subtopics. So branding design inspiration mood boards. Now I can go to color schemes or logos or ideas. This is your long tail keyword right here. Now can you see how layered, how in-depth? I could target branding design. I could then also target branding design inspiration and create inspiration type content. I could then create content that's about mood boards, inspiring mood boards. Do you see how amazing and cool this is? All right, I want you to just keep going and going and going, just like a little Energizer bunny here. Now, what you're going to end up with is a page or 2 or 5 of highly searched long tail keywords on Pinterest that you can now work on targeting in all sorts of ways. So let me show you what I mean. So first off, these long tail keywords are going to tell you exactly what actual Pinterest boards you should create. And let me just tell you, having keyword-rich boards is a huge factor in how Pinterest grades your quality as a pinner. The higher quality pinner you are, the more your pins are going to get shown. So you saw all the keywords that had to do with branding design a few minutes ago, right? Let me show you something. I'm going to come over to my profile, click on my boards down here. Now take a quick gander and tell me if any of these keywords are looking familiar. We've got branding yourself, we've got branding design, we've got up here logo design inspiration, branding color palette inspiration. I targeted all the popular keywords related to branding design by building boards for each. Now check this out. Let's take this cool shit one step further. Because in search, you have the ability to search by boards, not just pins. So let's try searching for some of the keywords that I've targeted on my boards and see if the boards pop up. So let's type in branding yourself. Oops, let's type it in right. Now we'll press enter, which will initially bring up the pins. We'll come over here where it says all pins, click this drop down and we'll select boards instead. Let's see. Oh, well, what do you know? We've got my board branding yourself in the second slot. We've got branding design, my board, in the fourth slot. Let's try another one. Let's say logo design inspiration. Let's see if my board comes. Oh, spot number 2. I could keep going and going, but you get the point. This is awesome stuff, right? Now your keyword research is also going to help you create the content that people are actually looking for, right? Not only in terms of exactly what topics that you should be writing or talking about, but exactly what different angles to take. So let me give you an example. So in my case, when I realized that branding design was the #1 branding related search on Pinterest, I started creating content around all those subcategories. So I created a whole color palette series so that I could target a variety of different color palette long tail keywords. So some of my content centered around targeting keywords about inspiration. Some focused about types of color schemes. Other of the color palette content I created had to do with actually creating your palette, right? So each of the different posts in my series targeted a different subset of branding design related long tail keywords that had to do with color. Because I just kept drilling down on the inspiration side, on the color scheme side, on the actual tools, right? So all these different pieces of content came together as one amazing series, but it allowed me to individually target and angle every different way I could to target color palette on Pinterest. So after I did all my research and I knew what people were looking for, then I knew exactly what content to create, right? And I was able to cover all of my keyword bases. Here, I'll take it even one step further. I even created a color palette opt-in offer, right? You can see it right here. Let me come to my board. I created all kinds of pins for this color palette series. One of them is a mock-up template. You can see a couple different pins. Here's one of the pins right there. Here's another pin I created for this. So I created this new page, which allowed me to add new content, right? So I had all of these individual posts, and then I pulled those all together, created an opt-in page that tied back to the post, but offered them a color palette mock-up template. All right, so I took all the keywords for this one opt-in offer, right? All the keywords from all the different angles, whether it was inspiration, color schemes, you name it. I created a quick ad for one of these pins. I threw maybe 20 bucks at most, right, of ad spend on it on Pinterest. Guess what? A year later, those pins, that whole series nets me 20 to 25 opt-ins a week from Pinterest. I have literally not uttered a word about color palettes in at least 6 months. I've not talked about them. I've not promoted this. I've not shared it, nothing in at least 6 months, but the traffic keeps coming and I keep converting it into customers and community members, okay? So one of the biggest reasons I swear by Pinterest is for this reason. It's because your content doesn't die hours after it's posted, like every other social platform. Okay. If you optimize your content and you establish yourself as a quality pinner with a quality website, your content will keep rewarding you for years to come, keep rewarding you in the form of traffic, in the form of email subscribers, and ultimately in the form of buyers. So do yourself a favor, spend a few hours doing your Pinterest keyword research this week so that you know what the most popular searches are around your topics, and you can start capitalizing on the bottomless free traffic that is on Pinterest for the taking. So if you have any questions or any questions pop up, don't be shy. I am happy to help. That's why I'm here. So pop into the Solopreneur Society Support Lounge and let me know how I can fix you up. And hey, if you're really serious about turning Pinterest into your traffic main squeeze and you want to have new buyers ringing your digital doorbell off the hook before the Easter Bunny wakes up from his slumber or her slumber, who am I to judge, right? I want you to go to bit.ly/PTE 2019 right now. Drop your name so I can send you all the details for my upcoming group execution program. I'm going to be helping a very small group of solopreneurs build out their entire high-performance Pinterest traffic engine. And I am going to be giving these people access to a bonus that will guarantee they'll never have to go without buyers again. Guarantee. Okay. So if you'd like nothing more than to have a way of flooding your website with traffic and your launches with buyers, don't wait. Okay. Spaces are seriously limited. I am going to be offering only 25 spots. I want to keep this group small so everyone gets all the one-on-one time they need and I can really dive in with everybody and make sure that these Pinterest engines are fully optimized and functioning at the highest capacity they can. So you're going to want to throat punch yourself if you don't snag your spot. Just don't say I didn't warn you. All right. But that's all I can say publicly. If you want the full scoop, you're going to have to go to bit.ly/PTE 2019 and fork over your email address. So I will see you over there. Later.